Imagine this. You're 70 years old, staring into the mirror at a face etched with decades of life, when suddenly a whirlwind romance promises to erase every wrinkle and reignite your soul. But what if that dream turns into a nightmare, stripping away your dignity one cruel word at a time? What hidden forces keep you trapped, and how do you summon the courage to shatter the chains? Hold on tight. This isn't just a story. It's a heart-pounding revelation that could change how you see love forever. If you've ever wondered why some relationships feel like a slow poison, or if true freedom lies in walking away, you're about to uncover secrets that will leave you breathless. Stay with me, because by the end, you'll discover a twist that proves age isn't a curse. It's your greatest weapon. Have you ever clung to a love that humiliated you, whispering to yourself that passion could conquer all, even the deepest self-doubt? This tale isn't merely about a man and a woman. It's a raw battle for dignity, self-love, and the shocking truth that your worth isn't handed out by anyone else. As the years pile on, we chase validation like a mirage, often trading our joy for scraps of approval. But here's the bombshell. What if love demands your soul in return? This video plunges you into the turbulent odyssey of an elderly man ensnared in a bond that devoured his pride, until he unearthed the guts to escape, reclaim his fire, and rewrite his destiny. Why glue your eyes to the screen? Because his hard-won secrets are dynamite for anyone navigating the shadows of aging, heartbreak, or fading confidence. By the finale, you'll grasp why self-love is your ultimate shield, how to spot a soul-draining trap, and why embracing solitude might be the most electrifying choice you'll ever make. Don't blink. This isn't fluff. It's a game-changer for reclaiming your power at any stage. If you're new here, hit subscribe and ring that bell to unlock more mind-blowing insights. Your likes and shares fuel this fire, and if this hits home, drop a 1 in the comments, or 0 if it misses, so I can crank up the intensity. Now brace yourself. Let's dive into the mystery. At first, it was pure magic, like stumbling upon a hidden treasure that banished the loneliness of old age. She flooded him with praise that ignited sparks in his weary heart. Words so perfectly aimed, they resurrected a man he'd buried long ago. "You're unbreakable, brilliant, timeless," she'd murmur, her voice like velvet, convincing him his years weren't chains but crowns of allure no young buck could match. Her gaze, electric, pulling him in like a moth to flame. Her smiles teased secrets, her every move a seductive dance that made him the center of her universe. Desperate to hold on to this elixir of youth, he poured everything into her. Lavish gifts, endless efforts, treating her like royalty who'd graced a peasant with her throne. She wasn't just a partner. She was a vortex of energy, making his pulse thunder like in his prime. But whisper this. What dark undercurrents lurked beneath the bliss? Tiny fissures appeared, so sly you might miss them, until they cracked wide open. Subtle at the start, like shadows creeping in twilight, her advice slithered in. "Darling, a man of your vintage should handle this better," she'd say, her tone honeyed but laced with venom. He chuckled it away, but the jabs multiplied, morphing into barbs that hooked into his ego. Her superiority gleamed through, flaunting her youth like a weapon, reminding him he was too ancient for her world. Each quip landed like a sucker punch, yet he rationalized, "It's just a phase. Love will smooth it." But oh, the intrigue deepens. What if the bedroom became the ultimate arena of betrayal? There, her critiques sliced deepest. "You're lagging, predictable. I crave fire, not embers." Comparing him to spry rivals he couldn't rival, she attacked not just his form, but his core. Yet, in twisted mercy, she'd toss compliments like bait. "No one matches your devotion. Young guys are flakes." Mockery veiled as flattery, keeping him ensnared. If you're hooked and feeling the sting, smash 1 in the comments to signal you're riding this wave with me. He endured, convinced love's forge demanded sacrifice, that his persistence would unveil her true heart. But the tempest raged, her words weapons eroding his mirror image into a faded relic, pitied or ridiculed. Outsiders might scoff, "Why stay?" But toxic love weaves invisible webs, binding with hope's fragile threads, not just her allure, but the mirage of redemption. He wasn't merely chasing her. He was battling to resurrect his lost self. Tragic, isn't it? How love's highs plummet to abyss, and we cling, betting our souls on a fix. His saga echoes ours. How many linger in voids, praying devotion mends the irreparable, the heartbreak? He fought not for her, but a fragment of himself, vanishing forever, and that war nearly destroyed him. Then, one fateful night, post-battle, he retreated to solitude's grip. Silence amplified the echoes of insults, the chronic ache of diminishment. But wait, a spark ignited. What if this was the pivot, the enigma unraveling? Facing the mirror, his 70-year reflection stared back. Wrinkles as victory scars, gray as wisdom's badge. No failure, just a survivor who'd let another's gaze eclipse his light. Epiphany struck. Self-love wasn't optional. It was armor. He couldn't shrink for approval from one blind to his essence. Terrifying choice loomed. Stay diminished or reclaim sovereignty. With heart pounding, he confronted her next eve, voice steady as steel. "This erodes me. Love can't cost my pride." He laid bare the erosion, demanding respect or farewell. She scoffed, labeling him dramatic, but he stood unyielding, rooted in newfound power. Bittersweet exodus, grief for lost dreams, but euphoria in liberation. Stepping out, air rushed in, burdens evaporated. He hadn't fled her, he'd raced toward himself. Loneliness ambushed post-split, nights echoing voids. Yet this wasn't torment, it was fertile ground. What mysteries awaited in solitude? Reflection bloomed. Gratitude for trials, reconnection with forgotten joys. Old pals re-emerged, hobbies reignited. Mirror now revealed resilience, not relics. Lines of triumph, grays of insight. He bloomed anew. Voyages to dreamscapes, savoring sunrises, laughter's echo. Worth? Innate, not bestowed. True love, self-sourced, dictating standards? This electrifying yarn pulses with urgency for elders wrestling love's ghosts. Craving connection is primal, ageless. But beware, chasing youth's spark risks dignity's blaze. His fling? A siren call masking erosion, her youth blind to his depths. He morphed to fit, alienating his soul. Thrill-blinded cracks. Cost? Self-betrayal. Ending it? Heroic pivot, reclaiming authenticity. Love thrives on equality, not proof. If the fire's building, drop 2 below, show you're locked in. Post-reckoning, he viewed the bond as alchemy, forging deeper self-value, boundaries as shields. Worth? In integrity, not youth's glow. For seniors, every scar's a saga. Don't trade for illusions. 5 explosive takeaways. 1. Youth's mirage. Alluring but hollow, seek souls who honor your essence or trap awaits. 2. Compromise's peril. Fear solitude. It breeds tolerance of toxins. Love's a haven, not war zone. 3. Self-love's reign. Embrace flaws. It's the magnet for real bonds. 4. Integrity's might. Age's gifts transform trials into power. Own them. 5. Reflection's bounty. Every scar teaches, grow or stagnate. He once deemed endurance noble, but saw it as dignity's thief. Love sans self-love, a prison. Walking away, liberation's roar. Solitude, healing haven, rebuilding sans judgment. If the intensity grips you, comment 3. Affirm you're here till the thunderous close. Aging, not decay, celebration, wrinkles, badges, youth worshippers miss depths. He freed himself from shallow chains. Intimacy? Mutual, not one way. Gestures demand reciprocity, or they wither. Walking away birthed renewal. Strength in self-certainty, peace in authenticity. Life's too fleeting for pleas, greatest romance, With yourself. What ignited your soul? Spill one takeaway below. Inspire the tribe. Like, share, subscribe for more pulse racing wisdom. Thanks for the ride. Next adventure awaits.